a second-hand coat. I want a yacht, not a cheap little boat. I tell my daddy not to be depressed. All I need for happiness is the best. I want a diamond, nothing else has appeal. And when it comes to men, you know how I feel. I want a real man. Give me a real man, you know what I mean. I want a real man. Oh, real man, you're what I need.
Hey guys, what's up? How you doing?
Top. Let's go, Padre.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Real Men. I'm your host, Tim Steeves. This is a men's magazine show for men, by men, where men get real. Let's meet the panelists. Should I be out of breath for running 10 feet? Tim Rykert's here today. Good to see you, Timmy.
Good to see you, Timmy.
I got to work on my cardio, buddy. I ran from the men's room out onto the floor. Chuck Byrn's also here. Good to see you, Chucky doll.
I'm winded just watching you.
Unbelievable, man. Krista Sutton is with us. Nice to see you, Krista. And Dwayne Hill is here.
Never run.
Never. Okay, Dwayne, nice advice from the Dwayner, man. And that's how we're going to get the show started. A commentary from that very same Dwayne Hill. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm going to give you two hypothetical post-coital conversations. Let's start. You're in a nice room, organized well, and you're looking down at the lovely woman you've just had sex with. You say, you know, you were great, and, you know, I know that you're not totally comfortable with what happened this evening, but you shouldn't turn out the lights because you've got a beautiful body, although you left most of your clothes on, and I think it was fantastic, even though you did stop when you thought the cats woke up. Anyway, I'll call you, maybe marry you. Okay, here's another example. Oh my God, I can't believe we just did that. Do you never, ever wear underwear? Don't you have neighbors? Are they dead? That was incredible. The trapeze. I mean, those midgets are your property, right? You can't just bring them in and do those things to midgets. They're allergic to several of those fluids. Saint or sinner? What do we prefer? Well, I guess a combination of both, right? You want the girl that's kind of awkward and really friendly in front of your parents, but, you know, when she's away, it's like, I need protein to survive. What, you, okay, well, I'm parked. So let's face it, we want a little bit of both. And if you can do that perfectly, women, we love you for it. But if you have to stay a slut, I'd love to date you. Tim?
Good job, Dwayne. Or grab some cushion, big man. That's what we're talking about this segment, Madonna versus whore. What about it, Chucky? Do we want a freak in the bedroom or what, man?
Well, yeah, given the choice between, you know, a virgin in the bedroom and a girl who knows what she's doing, I think most guys will take the girl who knows what she's doing.
But aren't you a little worried if she's too freaky?
Well, no, not really. I mean, you just assume she bought a book instead of, you know, worked in the trade. Hopefully. There's plenty of literature out there. But I think we also, as guys, I think we categorize these women as Madonnas or whores. I think a lot of guys slot women. They think of them as, well, she's the kind of girl I marry, and she's the kind of girl I have sex with.
Wow. That is true. What's our problem, Krista?
There are lots of women who are just, you know, a little bit of both. They have a little spice, but they're the girls.
My wife?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you're slotting them. And in terms of knowing, you know, what to do in the bedroom,
but women
I mean, I know there's
men.
some women who aren't so great in the bedroom, but my goodness, I don't think the percentage is any higher than men.
Oh,
so,
no. And let's face it,
All we're asking for
awkward
is
can be
effort.
sexy. Awkward can be sexy.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
And especially if you have, especially, you know, let's face it, life is life is a learning curve, especially in that voice. Life is a learning curve. You know, if you learn together, it's like, wow, I like being spanked too.
Well,
this is great. We're growing.
there's the issue right there. Why don't we learn together instead of saying, oh, I want a whore in the bedroom and.
Yeah.
Well, that is learning together in the sense, like, again, I have to go back to the point. Women want guys to be both sensitive man and tough guy, and it's hard to be both. And so we're asking the same in return. You be nice girl next door when we're just out and about, and we're in the bedroom. Whore it up a little bit. Be the dirty little.
Exactly.
My wife won my heart when we were having sex one time, way back when. Sorry, honey, I got to tell it. But she told me to talk dirty to her, and I did. And then she wasn't offended by what I said, and I thought I might even have gone a little too far.
Are we
going to
show the clip?
All right, you know.
Do we have a clip? No, I don't think we have a clip. No,
Let's roll the.
I don't think we have a clip. No,
It's
we don't
not
have a clip. Just look into the Tim
We
Rykert
have a
apology
clip of her
cam.
next time, her going, yeah. sorry, I don't ever want you to do that again because you said it on national television. You don't get that fun toy anymore.
Now you can talk dirty to yourself.
Krista, do you hold back when you're with a guy? Like, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to go that far because I don't want to give him the impression that I'm...
Well, it's all about trust, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing. You can play around and have fun if you trust the guy and know him. If he's some weird freakoid who wants you to like play, you know, be my Aunt Susan. No, forget it. You know?
I like where you went with that kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing a flannel house coat and I think I hear a burglar.
That's all it really is
You've
role
been reading my journal.
Again.
It's trust. It's all about trust and
but it's
being able to
role-playing,
play
right?
around.
It's just role playing. The dirty whore thing. It's just role playing. It's just you're gonna play this part now, and I'm gonna. It's not always that, but there's.
There is something a little wrong with a guy though who constantly wants you to play some sex worker
constantly,
with
yeah.
chaps
But
on.
once in a while, you know, you're
Tim's
cat
saying
girl
once in a
tonight.
while.
Tomorrow night, you're.
You know, mix
You're a
it up.
cat woman or a variation of a cat.
Any hobby can become an addiction.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? When it gets to the point where the only way you can have an orgasm is if she's dressed up in that outfit, screaming at you in German, then yeah, maybe you've gone too
Yeah,
far.
there's
I
a
like
bit of a
your
problem.
angle too. I don't know. Well, you.
Timmy, what's your make love what's your make love versus whore ratio? How often are you with the making love, and then you say once in a while? What would be once in a while?
It's mostly making love, but then once in a while, I don't know. It's the
Let's mix it up.
I don't want to say whore again because it's not about the word. It's about the.
She's at home going, you didn't talk nearly as dirty as the guy before you. That guy had a mouth.
I think we're confusing whore with prostitute a little bit too. I think we're not looking for a woman to act like a prostitute. We're looking for a woman just to act overtly sexual. Because most women contain their sexuality for the most part. They're flirty, they might dress a little flashy, but what really, guys are very easily excited by a woman who seems really interested in having sex with them.
Well said, Chuck. Nice job, buddy. Those were actual final thoughts summing up the segment.
Well, there you go.
Unbelievable.
One
When
for
we come back, we're going to talk about what makes a
Word
true
jam.
gentleman, and we're going to be joined by Enza Supermodel. So don't go away. You're not going to want to miss that. What do you think makes a gentleman these days?
Somebody that respects a woman and can treat them properly, and they have to be honest and, of course, caring. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Real Men. This segment, we're joined by Enza Supermodel. Thanks for coming in, Enza.
My pleasure. It's fun being here.
Awesome. Enza's in the house. And this segment, we're talking about gentlemen. Are there any left? What makes a gentleman? And Krista Sutton is going to speak to the topic. Go ahead, Krista.
Too many men, not enough gentlemen. Too many men, not enough gentlemen. Are you feeling, guys, a little uneasy these days? You don't know the rules of dating anymore, and you don't know how to treat that special lady friend of yours? Well, I know where the conspiracy is starting. I went to a drag king bar the other day. Yes, these are drag kings, women dressed up as men. Facial hair, fedoras, the zoot suits, packing, and these guys know chivalry. Now, they don't order my dinner for me, but they do buy me a drink and maybe put a coat around my shoulders, pull my chair out, light a cigarette. These guys know chivalry. They have reclaimed it, and you're wondering why they're getting all the chicks? This is the conspiracy. So you know what? Go back to school. Go to a drag king bar. See how it's done. Tim.
Thanks, Krista. Nice job. Grab some cushion, sweetie. And what are they packing, first of all? These drag kings packing.
It's a male genitalia prosthesis.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, by the way, Enza.
Thank you. Thanks. It's
And right
great
away
being-
with the prosthesis
It's great being with you
explanation.
guys, giving you a little insight into the
drag
world
world.
of drag.
Yes.
What makes a gentleman for you, Enza?
Well, one who will grab your hand and kiss you right on the top, and
Oh, nice.
tell you how beautiful you are, and then he realizes you're a guy in a dress.
So a gay
So-
guy then is what makes a gentleman to you.
Well, there's also straight guys who are very attractive and who would love to sleep with me. But first they have to buy me dinner, and they have to talk to me, and they have to take
rules.
me out on a couple of dates.
And has
you
this
know?
ever happened, Enza?
Well,
Has a straight guy ever decided
guy-
just to...
the dinner hasn't come through yet. The drinks barely come there, and then usually it's a drive home and right to bed. But
So it's
Do you realize that
So
makes
being
him
a gentleman-
gay?
well,
Do you realize he's no longer straight?
In
the
my
second?
mind, in my mind, but in his own mind, it makes him whatever he wants
Let's
to be.
hit the topic.
Exactly.
Dwayne, do you consider yourself a gentleman, big man?
Yes, thoroughly. Now play a selection of clips from the past 60 episodes. Lesbians are edible. Well, midgets, throw them all into the fire.
Would you feel?
I'd love to think so. I was raised by a single mother, and yes, I've teased like all of our female cast, but they can take it, and that's one thing that is also sexy for men is the fact that they can take it. I think I could be, I don't know, I feel like I'm off topic. Yes, I'm a gentleman. I've got my papers. I'll prove it. And they're not forged. But, you know, I do like to make a girl, I like to make a girl happy. I like to make them, you know, smile.
But it makes you feel better, too, as a person,
totally.
right? You know, taking the chair out, you know, having her sit down, opening the door for her. Trust me, for me, it makes you feel really special.
Yeah, as long as it's not something really put on,
Yeah.
though, you know, and like
Yeah.
they know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, there's
And-
that fine line.
So we're supposed to do things that we're not just out of our. We're supposed to do it just out of our heart, but we're not because we're supposed to do it.
Well, no, but I mean, I'll open a door for anybody. I'll buy a drink for somebody. I think
it's all about politeness to people in general. Like, there's no point in making it just polite to male or female. You know, I think a gentleman now, like a gentleman used to be a class thing. It used to be how much money your father had.
But women prefer that little special touch because it knows.
Not anymore, Enzo. There's a lot of women who get pissed off and offended at you.
let's
you know,
face it.
when I don't know who they
They
are.
might not be wearing American flag dresses and sitting on their penis.
No, yeah. I don't know who these women are, though.
Let me ask you this. Let me clarify this. What's the difference between a guy? I know there's a difference here, but there's a very fine line between you would like him to light your smoke for you when you pull it out, but not order your dinner for you. That's a very fine line to me. Of like, where's a guy supposed to be able to draw the line? When am I an idiot for being too much of a gentleman? You know what I'm saying?
And let's face it, bikers do great with chicks. They do great. And bikers are like, you know, does that smell infected to you?
You know, guys,
Yeah, but at least they have a bike and they'll pick the girl up.
Yeah, but
so
let's
guys have to
hold
be
on.
themselves.
Dwayne, let's define chicks. They do great with those chicks on the back
Biker
of their
chicks.
Well, I mean, are you
hogs.
saying that they're any less of a woman than
I'm saying they're
say,
less
Krista
attractive.
or Benza?
I'm saying biker chicks aren't attractive. There's my
Right.
You're
generalization
saying biker chicks
today.
aren't attractive?
Oh, address amphetamine to.
I'm joking. If there are bikers at home and their chicks are watching, I'm kidding.
There are bikers. They're wired and they're watching, Tim. Please. It was nice knowing you, sweetheart.
Because bikers love talk shows.
The appeal of these drag kings was there was an old worldliness about it. Now I don't certainly
But I
want to
think-
go back there. Yes,
I
I'm
think
a
a lot of
feminist,
that
but
old world has disappeared. With the women's movement comes the realization that if the women are going to change, so are the men.
yeah, I think
But-
men are a lot
And
of
it was
I don't have to do
it was
that stuff
easy to
anymore.
be a gentleman,
No, we
and it was
went to
easy
that.
to open the door and pull out the chair when
Yeah.
women were going to be dainty.
I don't think.
But
If
feminists,
you have a dainty woman, it's easy to open the door. And
Feminists-
fix your
Isn't
chair.
it even nicer to open a door or pull a chair out for somebody
Yeah.
who doesn't need it pulled out for?
yeah.
I
no,
agree with you. I mean,
in,
it's-
Enzo.
even for feminists like that little special touch, you know, not to go overboard, but
Everybody likes being treated
exactly.
nice.
And you know what? I think for you
Sorry,
guys,
Enzo, I got to cut you off. We got to get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm so
Okay.
sorry, Enzo. And the biker chicks at home. I'm just joking around. I love
too
you.
late.
When we come back from this commercial, we're going to talk about, do Canadians get enough? Are we having enough sex in Canada? When we come back.
I'd say that none of us.
Do you think we get enough sex in Canada? Do you think Canadians are a little repressed?
Too repressed, too conservative. I think we've got to lighten up a bit and just enjoy people, enjoy life, and enjoy quality people.
Hey, welcome back to Real Men. You know who I love? Biker chicks.
Dig
They
up,
are
stupid.
so hot. Where's Rykert's apology cam? Let me go down the barrel of the apology cam. Hey, Chuck, we're talking this segment.
apology
We're
cam.
talking this segment about Canadians. Do we get enough sex in Canada? Chucky Doll, start us off.
As a Canadian, I can happily say no. Happily? Well, not happily. I mean, well, I got satellite TV, so I can compensate. But I don't know. As a group, if we're getting enough sex, as an individual, no, no, I am not. Please address all sex to me, to Chuck. I care of Lonely Town.
We're a freaky culture.
Quebec is apparently.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
Well,
You're gonna
very
complain, you're gonna
European
complain
over
about
the
the English and have
stink
sex.
right now. So
yeah, no, sex is good, you know, and you know what?
Really?
course it is. I mean,
Pretty controversial take you're starting there with.
That's insane.
and you know why? And the more we have it, the better we are. And the reason we're miserable as a country is because we're not having enough of it. You know.
Miserable as a
I don't think we're miserable, but yeah, we,
Just
I
the
think
miserable
so.
people, and they are
You know.
miserable. You know who you
The
are.
winter's coming.
I'm not having
The winter's
sex, and I'm pretty
coming,
happy.
and a lot of
I don't
people
know
are starting
why.
to get lonely, and they want to warm up, and this is the time, you know. And it's
are
time
we
to-
are we a little uptight in Canada, Krista?
Yeah, we're probably going through a bit of a puritanical phase. We're not very.
Yeah, for the last couple hundred years.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
but
If we were a
well,
tree,
that's
we
how
could
it
wait it
goes,
out.
right? We're not very sex positive, and we're not very nudity positive, and
And what are you doing about that, Krista? Are you doing your part?
Launching, yes, a personal campaign.
A
But-
raunch launch.
I was subscribed to
Can
your
I help
service.
you? I want to help you.
Okay, cool.
Because we got to do this nationwide. Because you're right. You know, this country just, in terms of expressing our sexuality and being free to make love, it's not happening.
But people
Yeah,
at
you
home,
seem to
Enza,
have
right
a real
now are
problem.
watching you. But Enza, people are at home watching you right now going, that's kind of ironic coming from a drag queen on a television show, right?
well,
Wouldn't that be like a defense of our, we're not that uptight if we have you on TV and
Well,
everybody's sitting around talking? I mean,
but the uptight part of it is sleeping.
You're a guy? Oh my God, that's a guy?
The uptight part
Where
would
have
be
you
sleeping
been?
with me. You know, this
Right.
would be probably comfortable. But you know, if they wanted to sleep with me, I think they would have a little bit of an issue there. So.
Well, and we're also, I mean, Enza's on so that we get a little bit of the ooh, which in some countries it would just be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
that's true.
So-
That's
You mean
true.
people would be shocked by Enza's appearance? People who haven't been kissed by Enza? Fascinating. I was covering my crotch. You win this round. I won that round.
It washes off.
So we all agree
Anybody
there
win?
should be more sex in Canada?
Well, what about
Yeah.
In fact, let's call in sick tomorrow and have
Yeah.
sex.
Okay, so who
Less
are,
hockey, more sex. No,
who
that
are we
doesn't work.
talking to when we say we need to get more sex going? Is it the men in the country we're talking to?
Yeah, because they're so prudish.
That's right.
And you know what? I think it should start off with the Prime Minister of Canada. Because you know what really upsets me is him running around in these canoes and trying to think he's really fit. But let's see how fit he is in the bedroom.
Guy's
So-
80 years old.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Cut him a little
Enza.
slack.
I don't know what that.
Somebody's jealous of somebody's canoe trip.
Yeah.
There he is, just wasting a good canoe,
I'm
not
sorry.
having sex.
Well, our leader should
Promote it a
promote
little
it,
bit.
set the example, you know?
Well, I think, you know, you ask people more sex, everyone's going to say sure, because sex is fun, feels good. I mean, do we want more sex in our culture? I think we're up to our eyeballs in sex in our culture. Everywhere you
We're up
turn.
to our eyeballs.
Yeah, but
Up
it's
to our eyeballs.
They're selling
Yeah,
wheat things.
Krista,
and,
Krista,
you know,
jump in. I know what Krista.
It's very blurry though, and it's not. It's kind of.
Smells
It's
funny.
cheapened,
maybe
right?
that's
it's
why
it's
we have
like
all this stuff.
Disneyland. Commercial sex.
Well, I mean-
versus a more artistic in some of the European countries. It's just ingrained. It doesn't have to be a
And they probably
stupid
have
beer
less of it.
ad with
They probably
chicks
have less
with-
of it on TV and stuff over there because, like, the reason we have it all on our TV and it's all is because we're not getting any. So we have to put it
No,
on
no,
TV.
no. Hold on.
we're blurring
In
out
Europe,
nipples on fashion
hold on.
television.
In Europe, you can see naked breasts any time of day or night on any commercial.
German
But they won't
television
show-
is the most
but they won't
disturbing
show
thing you'll ever
violence
see.
until after midnight. Isn't that a more civilized?
That's a civilized.
I remember looking at a
society,
French
yeah.
magazine. Yeah, that is civilized. I remember looking at a French magazine. There was an ad for carpets, and there was a totally buck-naked woman standing beside them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mature.
Sex is a natural thing.
You know what
like,
this carpet
you know.
needs? More breasts.
Maybe
I
there
am
was-
French. I ween.
No,
know,
there was some humor
Sex is a
in
natural
there,
thing. Like
maybe.
we're all sexual beings.
I'll show
Like
you the
you know, like, it's our sex that drives us. You know, like what do all guys think of at the end of the day, right?
At the end of the day.
end of the day.
At the beginning of the day, in the middle of the
Middle
day.
of the
Let's take a
day.
break.
Well,
Let's
you
take
know-
a break. Let's have a commercial where all the guys at home can think about sex some more. And we got a couple more minutes with Enza Supermodel on Real Men, where men get real. Come back.
2 minutes. Go.
Welcome back to the show. Enza Supermodel hopped in today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We've been talking about Canada and sex, and are we too repressed in Canada? Do we need to loosen up? Timmy Rykert.
Yes.
Good job,
Enza?
Tim.
Loosen up real hard, real good.
Loosen up real hard.
Loosen up real hard.
That was what you call
You
it.
know what I mean.
That was a guy's quote.
That's not good direction in the bedroom.
Loosen up all over me right now. Loosen up till you cry.
Loosen up. That's usually followed by turn your head and cough.
Loosen up. Let go of the finger.
Are we
I'm
too
gonna get the ring back
conservative,
somehow.
Krista? Help me out.
I think we are, but it's not in terms of sex. It's in terms of sexuality. It's in terms of just being a little more liberal and free and tolerant about all different types of sexuality. It's not about getting more sex. It's just about loosening up our attitudes about sex.
Really?
Okay.
Well, I think it's also about.
Interesting.
I'm a woman, though. I can get it whenever.
It's also about changing the attitudes towards sex, because I think a lot of it is, as a kid, I went to Catholic school for a while, and I grew up in Canada, just like most of us here.
Yeah.
And sex is always played as dirty.
Exactly.
A little too much and forbidden, and that's why the information's not out there. Like for guys growing up, you don't get a lot of information.
It's got to start at our schools, not to say that it, how do you think you came into this world? Your parents had sex,
but the
right?
problem with putting it into the schools is some parents don't want it, and therefore everything is dictated by the parents who don't want it.
So they don't want it at school, and they're not teaching it at home or talking about
Because
it
they
at home.
just don't want to discuss it.
You can guarantee
Yeah.
the parents that don't want it in the schools are the same ones that aren't teaching it at home either, because they're
Yeah.
too paranoid.
'cause they're probably
Go to
not
the
doing
zoo.
it.
I didn't learn to masturbate till I was 29. I mean, just for example.
But you're making a joke. I actually know guys who
discovered
didn't
by
masturbate
accident.
until much later in life because they thought they were going to hell
That's
or they were
right,
going to.
yeah.
Right.
And I just find that really, we can joke about it. I find it so sad and pretty
do it
awful.
Now they do masturbate.
I knew I was
Yeah,
going
they
to
do.
hell. I was just comfortable
Till
with
they're
it.
21, 25.
Oh my
something.
God, all those years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wasted time.
Because it takes you 10 years just to get good at it.
Then you can really start to put some things together.
I'm doing fine now. I was lost for 10 years is what I'm saying.
I was just punching it. Hoping for the best. Hoping for the best.
Something.
Okay, well, that's another
Anyway.
sensitive handling of a sensitive topic by the Real Men panel.
See you
Thanks
in
to
hell.
Enza Supermodel for coming in. Thanks, Enza. We always love having you
My
over.
pleasure.
Thanks to you guys for coming into Real Men, where men get real. We're out.
We're real.
Do you guys like my new American dress?
I already commented on it. Thanks for not noticing. It's too dark.